Yep.
Whenever you guys are ready.
They're coming on before lights, right?
They come in with the lights like this again, take them down all the way, and bring them half and they enter.
Right.
Well, this is where I was now. Oh, Devin, I'm sorry, I forgot. The volume is still up on 22, Devin.
Volume is still where?
The volume is still on 22 if you want to adjust it. I didn't know where you'd like the volume.
I'll turn it to regular sound anyway. So, all right.
I forgot.
Are we good?
Yeah. I guess you come in with this light, so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we can just start it. It's up to you guys if you want to go black to this. Doesn't matter. How are we doing it?
I don't think I'm done it black because.
Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Just start, yeah.
Hello, yes, Leon Rose speaking. Cindy, yes. Hang on, just a second. Okay, go ahead with the phone number. Okay. All right. Thanks. Hey, wait a second. Isn't Jacobson a producer? Go look him up and yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. I will call him right away. Hello! Yes, this is Leon Rose returning Mr. Robert Jacobson's call. Yes, Mr. Jacobson! Yes, my service just communicated your message to me. Fortunately, I am in town and I can... What? What's that? Oh, now you listen to me! The sole purpose of the photographs in the Player's Guide is for the purpose of casting people, directors, and producers. It is not for solicitation. And if you continue to act like this, you will be hearing from the Better Business Bureau. And I do not need a hairpiece. Absolutely, I'd be happy to. Hang on a second, miss. I mean, officer? Miss Policewoman's officer? That's what you are, right? A policewoman's officer?
Name.
Hang on just a second, please. Just so you know, I do not own a car. I do not drive a car. So if you are up here because of a double parked car, then there is a terrible injustice being perpetrated here. And I have always fought against injustice, whether it be described as fascism, Nazism, racism.
You give me your name, mister, or do I have to take you in?
Can I ask, please, what a law-abiding citizen is being accused of in the privacy of his own home when he does not even own or drive a car?
You, sir, are in violation of a city anti-noise ordinance for playing your music too loudly. Does that answer your question?
Not exactly. Because I know who put you up to this, officer. And I am mad. Oh, I am definitely getting mad. See, I just recently moved into this apartment and I get along with all of my neighbors. except for this crazy old hag who lives upstairs. Ooh. Anytime I sneeze, she starts stomping on the ceiling and banging on the radiator with an aluminum frying pan. She has got to be a genuine crackpot.
Do you know the crazy old hag that lives upstairs?
No, I don't.
You're looking at her, mister. Name.
Rose. R-O-S-E, Leon. L-E-O-N. Leon Rose.
Leon Rose. Residence
Just
is...
for one moment, please, officer. I owe you an apology. I sincerely apologize. See, there was no way for me of knowing you were the crazy old hag who lived up. Could I offer you a glass of Perrier water with a slice of lime?
Residence is 925...
Just one moment, please. I have a single question for you. How much is that going to cost me?
It's a summons, not a ticket. The fine is $100.
$100? For playing my music too loudly? That's ridiculous! That's highway robbery! You know, how much would it be if I screamed at the top of my lungs like this, huh? Ah!
It'll cost you $100 for each violation.
Oh, it was an example. I'm giving you an example.
Mr. Rose, I just finished a 12-hour tour of duty. I made 3 arrests, gave out 9 summons, 15 parking tickets, and I just chased a naked man from 56th Street to 44th Street where I lost him in a movie house. So don't give me a hard time, huh?
I wasn't.
All I want to do is get out of this uniform and soak my bones in a hot tub of water.
I completely understand.
Do you? Do you know what it's like out there on those streets? Did you ever wear a uniform and try to break up a sidewalk crap game or collar a pimp in a massage parlor?
No, not that I recall.
We're understaffed, undersupported, underpaid, and we still have to buy our own lousy bullets with our own lousy money.
Personally, I think that the police department is doing a wonderful job. Just wonderful.
Do you? Did you ever write to the mayor and ask him to give us a little extra consideration?
I was planning on doing that this evening.
I bet you were.
I was. Really, officer. I really wouldn't be giving such a to-do about a crummy $100 fine if you didn't catch me in a particularly awkward time vis-a-vis my cash flow.
Your what?
My financial situation. Normally it isn't a problem for me, but I recently had to pay my rent 2 months in advance. I had to pay the moving company $900 to move, what was left of my east side apartment here to the west side. I even had to install cable.
Mr. Rose, you can explain that to the judge. Just let me finish.
No, I insist attention must be paid. After all, we are neighbors, and that's what neighbors are for, to help out each other and be friends.
So you want to be friends?
I do. If neighbors can't be friends, there's no hope for civilization. We may as well pack up our suitcases and move back to the dark ages.
Some people should pack their suitcases so some other people can have some peace and quiet. Where do you get off playing your music so loudly? Do you think I like banging on your ceiling? Do you think I have nothing better to do when I get home from work?
I can explain.
Mr. Rose, I've lived in this building for 7 years. For 7 years, I didn't hear a sound from this apartment. There was a nice, elderly lady living here, and she knew what it was like to be considerate of other people. She died, poor woman.
She died? In this apartment?
That's right.
Well, wait, what room did she die
in the bedroom.
She died? In my bedroom?
Yeah, there was a big brass bed in there.
The landlord sold me that bed for $130!
That was her bed. She was so quiet, no one knew she was dead for more than a week.
She was dead in my bed for more than a week.
I found her myself.
I'll tell you something. Every time I get in that bed, I feel like I am not alone.
Is that why you play your music so loudly in the middle of the night?
No. I can explain.
All right, go ahead. Explain. I'm listening.
You see, officer? I am an actor. A trained professional actor. And currently I am preparing for an audition that requires I pantomime an opera singer. When I'm preparing for an audition, I lose all sense of everything else. I completely lose myself in my work.
And that's why you're getting a summons, Mr. Rose. I have 2 kids up there. 2 kids who go to school. Do you know that since you moved in, they haven't been able to study or get a regular night's sleep?
No,
Why don't you lower that thing when I bang on your ceiling?
I didn't realize
Last night was the last straw. Where's your dog? Do you know he was barking until 1 o'clock in the morning?
In that regard, officer, you are incorrect. I do not own a dog. I did own a dog. I bought him after my East Side apartment was burglarized the second time, and the third time they broke in, they actually took the dog with them. This would be the sound you heard. I put that on anytime I go out. Actually, now that I think about it, it doesn't really help much. My East Side apartment was burglarized a total of 4 times, and they really took everything. Silverware, TVs, my cameras, totally cleaned me out. Actually, the 4th time they broke in, there wasn't really anything left to take, and they actually left me a book of food stamps.
That still doesn't explain those barking noises at 1 o'clock in the morning when my kids are trying to sleep.
I know, it was very thoughtless of me. And I'm sure as an officer, you can sympathize with the fact your everyday citizen is not adequately protected.
We sympathize, but how can we do the job if we don't have the personnel?
Oh, I'm not criticizing. I'm sure you guys are doing everything you can. It's a jungle out there.
A jungle is what it is. The minute we collar one bum, 2 bums take his place. And do you think the bum we collar goes to jail? Oh, no, 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 no. The judge gives him the speech, pats him on the back, and in an hour he's on the street again.
Oh, I know. I read about this prostitute that a judge took home with him because she didn't have a place to stay for the nights.
You think that's something? I once brought in a prostitute and the judge married her.
No!
I'm telling you, he married her. They're living in Oyster Bay now. They have a house, a car, a sailboat, a jacuzzi. That hooker's living a better life than I am.
That's disgusting.
No, it's worse than disgusting. Do you ever visit one of those minimum security prisons?
Yeah, I was planning on doing that this summer.
They're not prisons, they're country clubs. During the day, they play basketball, baseball, tennis, golf. And in the evenings, they have concerts, Las Vegas entertainment. And they sleep in separate bedrooms with no bars on the windows.
How do you like that? You know I have bars on my bedroom windows?
I couldn't sleep if I didn't have bars on my windows.
We have to have bars and they don't have to have bars.
We're the ones in prison, not them.
You know what we should do is trade places with them. We will be so much happier and safer in those prisons of theirs.
You can't get into those prisons. They're so popular, they have a 5-year waiting list.
What a sad, sad commentary on the state of our society.
Makes me sick just to think about it.
You know what, officer? Now that we're a little better acquainted, I'd like to introduce myself to you formally. Leon Rose. Your neighbor, and I hope someday, your friend.
Margaret Hines.
You care to sit down and relax, officer? Is there anything I can get for you?
Oh, it has been a long day for me. I wouldn't mind a beer if you have one.
Absolutely. 1 ice-cold beer coming up for my new neighbor. Tell me, how old are your children?
I have a girl 14 and a boy 11.
Oh, it must be so difficult, working a full-time job and raising 2 kids. What does your husband do?
He's dead.
That is difficult.
Yeah, it was more difficult when he was alive. The lying, sneaky bastard.
Did you mind if I call you Margaret? I really don't like being formal, especially with a neighbor.
I don't usually get this kind of treatment when I'm writing out a summons. You're not trying to bribe me, are you?
How could you even think of such a thing? Here, drink up. It's imported from China. You know, Margaret, I really am surprised you ever heard the name Leon Rose. I assume you don't go to the theater with any regularity. Anyone who would certainly recognize the name Leon Rose. You don't get to the theater with much regularity, do you? Could I get you anything else, Margaret? A 6-pack, perhaps?
No thanks. No, it's not bad, this Chinese beer.
No, it's not. Actually, it goes pretty well with a couple of T-bone steaks.
Well, we'll try it sometime.
I really am surprised you've never seen me in anything, Margaret. I've been in all kinds of shows. On Broadway, off-Broadway, regional theaters, summer stuff.
What plays have you been in?
Oh, I have been in so many I can't even keep track.
You know, when I was a kid, I was kind of interested in acting.
Were you?
Yeah. I took a course in it in high school, and I'd go to the movies every chance I got. And wait a minute. I do recognize you.
Well,
You do a TV commercial. It's for a cat food, isn't it? What's the name of that cat food? Kitty Tidbits? Tabby Chow? Pussy Grub! That's it! You're the Meow Meow Man on the Pussy Grub commercial!
what difference does it make? That's not my work. I'm an actor.
You're famous!
Actors do all sorts of things to supplement their income. It's very acceptable nowadays.
Do you know you're the only celebrity living in this building?
Am I?
The only one. Huh, it's a weird feeling. I can't wait to tell my kids the Meow Meow Man is living under them. If I bring them down, would you give them an autograph?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
I'm really sorry I have to give you this summons.
Margie, do you have to give me the summons?
I already wrote your name and your address. And once I
Can't
get
we
that-
erase it? I have some whiteout that doesn't even leave a trace.
No, my record's clean in the department. I don't like messing with it. You could plead guilty with an excuse. Maybe the judge will take in consideration who you are.
It's not the money, Margie. It's not. It's the principle. Did we just go in to pay for more tennis courts for those prisoners? That's what's upsetting me. But you know, whatever happens, I'm glad we're becoming friends. You know, I didn't realize I had such an attractive upstairs neighbor. Something about a woman in a police uniform that is very, very exciting.
Is it?
The way her small, soft face shines and glows at the top of her blue shirt. The way she carries the gun on her hip and emphasizes the full roundness of her plump buttocks. It is very, very exciting.
Is it?
It is. You're a beautiful woman, Margie. You're like a combination of Anne Hathaway and Ethel Barrymore.
Who is Ethel Barrymore?
Oh, she was an incredible actress with a magnificent stage presence.
I remind you of her?
It's her eyes in particular. Her eyes through the airy regions would stream so bright that birds would sing and think it were not night.
What would your wife say if she walked in here right now?
Well, she probably wouldn't say anything, but I would probably faint. She's been dead for 8 years.
Were you married long?
No. I have been an incredibly fortunate man. I was married 3 times and they were all short marriages.
You think that's funny, huh?
Actually, my first marriage was so short it ended before the honeymoon did.
I don't think that's funny. I think that's sick. Real sick. Oh, you're a sly one, you are. Coming on so strong, so sweet, so lovey-dovey. Maybe you can pull that stuff on some dumb 16-year-old kid, but not on me, mister. Now let's go.
What?
Move it.
What are you?
Move it. Get your hands on the wall. Spread your legs. Quiet. Quiet. I heard about you actors and what you do for kids. I know all about it. Now where do you hide the stash? Where do you keep it, huh? Stand still. Stand still. I know you got it on you somewhere. I bet anything on it. I got a whiff of something the minute I walked in here. What is it? Pot? Grass? You were smoking a joint, weren't you?
Chicken curry. I have it on the oven for dinner.
Oh yeah? We'll see about that.
Margie, what happened? We were having such a lovely conversation. What the hell are you doing in my kitchen?
3 short marriages, huh?
Oh, shit.
You think that's funny? Let me tell you about 2 short marriages, mister, that weren't so funny. Let me tell you about how I've been used and abused by men like you for as long as I can remember. When I think about how dumb I was, how innocent, how trusting, I get so damn angry I just want to plug holes in every slimy, deceiving, two-legged man on this city.
Just calm down, Margie. You have a clean record. You don't want to spoil your record.
I didn't start off dreaming of being a cop. That wasn't my dream. You men put me in this uniform. You put this gun on my hip and you showed me what to do with it. So don't get smart with me, Leon. I'm warning you.
I wasn't.
I've got more anger in me than I can handle. To get this job, I had to lift and carry a 75-pound dummy up and down a couple flights of stairs. I had to take courses in boxing and wrestling. I had to learn how to swing a nightstick to take down 6'8". But for the sake of my kids, I try my damnedest to control the anger.
You sound like a wonderful mother.
I am a wonderful mother. That's all I have is being a wonderful mother. I met their father when I was 16. 16! What did I know? He was a tall, strong, handsome Irishman with a smile that was pure blarney.
Margie, I don't know if I told you, but I am not Irish. I'm not.
Short marriages, huh? He'd come in and out of the apartment as if it were a Chinese laundry to drop off and pick up his shirts. That's when we would have sex, when he was changing his shirts. He probably figured he was half undressed anyway. What did he have to lose? By the time the second kid was born, he was gone. Out the door, leaving me with a drawer full of bills and 2 kids to support. What could I do? I had no trade, no experience. For months, I looked for a job until at last I found one as a raccoon.
A raccoon?
Yeah, didn't you ever hear of raccoons?
I've heard of them. I didn't know they could get jobs in the city.
Raccoons are cocktail waitresses. Rip-offs of Playboy bunnies at a club that used to be in Greenwich Village. I wore long black stockings, a mini skirt, and a low-cut blouse down to here. You know, very sharp. I wore a cap with furry raccoon ears and a furry raccoon tail.
Oh, you must have been one terrific-looking raccoon.
Not bad if I say so myself. I liked working there. I had an opportunity for advancement. I could have been head raccoon. Problem was, the manager started hassling me, using his hands. I had to quit. That's when I met the other slimy skunk.
Hines?
Transit officer Henry Hines. Soon after we were married, he decided he wanted to be a lawyer. Would Sweetie Pie give him a hand while he finished law school? Eventually, I found out he wasn't going to law school. He was using my money to pay for another apartment, and he was keeping his cover there. Can you believe it? Taking the food out of the mouths of my kids to support his hooker. Did I tell you he died?
You did, as I recall.
He didn't die, but to me he's dead. Just like the other one. Just like all men are dead to me. Dead, dead, dead. And that, Mr. Rose, is the story of 2 short marriages that were not so funny.
Margie, all men are not the same. Some of them are
good and some are bad. Is that what you were going to say, Leon?
It was. And I was also going to say that there are some that are decent and generous and trustworthy.
Oh yeah? Where are they?
Who?
These men you're talking about.
Oh, just look around. You'll find them.
They wouldn't happen to be in this room, would they?
That's possible.
Okay, Leon, I'll give you a chance to prove it. Let's hear about your 3 marriages. Go ahead. Let's see how decent and trustworthy you are with your 3 wives.
This is silly. What are we having, a trial?
That's the best suggestion you had tonight. That's exactly what we're going to do, neighbor.
You can forget it, Margie. I'm not participating in any stupid
I
trial.
noticed that you piled boxes and cartons in front of the fire exit in the hall. I really don't want to have to give you another summons, Leon.
How did I get into this? I haven't even left my apartment today and it's already costing me $200.
Court is now